Until a few days ago, I finally decided to try this game out for myself, and honestly, I was impressed. It's not a perfect game, it definitely is flawed, but I picked up Survivor with very low expectations, and to be honest, the game's alright. It definitely had potential since it was the first game in the series to be in first person instead of the classic fixed camera angles that we were all used to. Remember, this was the year 2000 when Resident Evil Survivor released for the PlayStation 1, published by Capcom but developed by Tosi, who is mostly known for developing Nintendo's Game & Watch Gallery series, various Dragon Ball games, as well as other Nintendo products. Around this time, Capcom were focusing more on other Resident Evil titles, so they practically gave Tosi a few toys to play with, and this is what they came up with. Survivor's gameplay is a combination of a first-person shooter and arcade-style light gun shooter, where players can move the character with the controller and shoot by controlling a crosshair. Survivor uses tank controls, and the aiming can take a while to get used to, especially when facing off certain enemies that are more agile, but by holding down L1 while shooting, you'll be able to use auto-aim, but even that can malfunction at times. Survivor was developed to support GunCon, which are the light gun controllers, but it was removed in the North American port due to the then very recent events of the Columbine massacre. This is also the first time ever to have continues instead of ink ribbons in a Resident Evil game. When you die for the first time, you get 4 continues and it restarts you from your very recent checkpoint. Survivor plays out similar to the first 3 Resident Evil games, except it's first person, there's barely any puzzles, and you have unlimited inventory. The handguns also have unlimited ammo by default. I thought this was a glitch when I first noticed it, but it makes sense since the developers tried making Survivor GunCon friendly. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump right into the campaign.
Resident Evil Survivor.
The game starts with a wall of text that recaps the destruction of Raccoon City and how it isn't the only place where there's been an outbreak. We then get a chase scene. There's no context behind this, but this definitely is one of the funniest opening scenes in a Resident Evil game in my honest opinion.
Get away!
So due to the crash, the main character suffers from memory loss and has no idea who he is or why he's here. All he has is a gun, and it is his only hope for survival. We run into the man from earlier in this alley with some dog tags in his hand that reads Art Thompson, but he seems unconscious or possibly dead. While investigating this Art Thompson, a zombie tries to sneak up from behind and receive a rusty key after killing it, which unlocks these 3 doors, but you can only unlock one each playthrough. These 3 doors lead us into a church, a restaurant, and a theater. The really cool thing about Survivor is that you can choose which path you like to take, and it won't affect your progression where you have to backtrack or get softlock. Depending which path you take, you actually get different cutscenes, fight different type of enemies, and find different interesting files offering players some replay value, and it's actually kind of worth to replay it to get a complete understanding as to what exactly is happening. For this playthrough, I decided to unlock the church, and inside we find a file following the destruction of Raccoon City and how the Umbrella leaders from each city had a meeting with the commander about Raccoon City's destruction, which everyone blames William Birkin for betraying Umbrella by attempting to keep the G-Virus for himself. That damn Birkin is a rat. We then examine this clock and take the clock winder off, which we then place it onto this other clock inside the chapel. After doing so, we open a path that leads down in the basement, which we then find the key to the back exit of the church. We head back up, use the key, and exit the church through the back. Someone must be watching us, but there's no time to waste standing around. As we continue, we find a key sitting in this bench and head to the next area. Once we get to the next area, we get another call.
Vincent.
Who is this? Vincent? Who's that? Wait. Am I Vincent?
Vincent, you are a murderer. A murderer.
A murderer? What are you talking about? Answer me! Who did I kill?
So this mysterious person called us Vincent and a murderer. Are we the antagonist? After that strange call, we again have the option to choose to unlock either the hospital, an arcade, or a library. We choose to enter the hospital. Once entering the hospital, we get a cutscene and we're definitely not alone.
Allow you to escape. You're going to pay for what you've done. What? Helicopter? No. The cleaners have already arrived? They must want this mess taken care of very quickly.
So it's the guy from earlier and he's watching us through a surveillance camera. Apparently we did something to piss this guy off since he won't let us escape, but it may have something to do with the fact that we're a murderer, according to the man on the phone. We've also got some extra company arriving on a chopper referred to as cleaners. Whoever sent them, they must really want this mess cleaned up ASAP. So once we begin the hospital level, we blast through a few zombies and eventually reach this room with a CT scanner, but it's out of power. We head to the control panel, turn the power on, and we find the key for the medicine room on the patient's couch. Once unlocking the medicine room, we are confronted by more zombies along the way, but while investigating, we find a medical chart of the patients staying in this hospital, and we learn that this is not a nice hospital to stay in. It reveals how this hospital is drugging their patients by injecting tranquilizer in their meals and water. Some real shady things going around here. Once getting past a few zombies, we reach the floor with the elevator, but it's out of power. Man, everything in here is out of power. After searching the other rooms, we find a manhole opener and the power switch for the elevator. Once turning on the elevator, we head back out and are confronted by a T-103 Tyrant. By the way, you'll be running into a lot more of these dudes throughout the game. After taking care of our trenchcoat friend, we take the elevator down to the basement, battle a giant spider and some zombies, when eventually we find a manhole that leads us straight down to the sewers. Once down in the sewers, we find out that a janitor named Andy is living down here thanks to his diary. The diary then mentions that this Vincent is an elite sent by Umbrella headquarters, and how he's ordered the facility to conduct savage experiments every day on kids brought in from all around the world. And if that wasn't shocking enough,
A picture. No, this is me. I am Vincent. It was all my fault.
yep, apparently we are the cold-hearted Umbrella Commander Vincent. So after that shocking reveal, a young kid walks in on us and completely freaks out.
I didn't know anything about you then.
Stop.
Wherever he is, we must follow him. So after exiting the sewers, we are directed to this prison called Paradise. What an odd name for a prison. The prison is filled with more zombies, monsters, and more locked doors. After finding the prison cell key, we head back to the reception to unlock this door, which leads us to the cells, and here we find a diary from one of the young prisoners. In this diary, we learn that all of the island's residents are either employed or family members of Umbrella, since it is owned by the company. It also goes more into detail about the prisoners and how they were all abducted and brought in to serve as guinea pigs for Umbrella experiments. The prisoners are taken to a factory on a mountain nearby to cut open their brain and extract some type of material. But the prisoners have sorted out a plan to escape and will be separated into two units. Unit A will go into the sewer through the ventilation slot of the confinement room, while Unit B will use a rope that the prison security used to tie them with to climb down from the surveillance tower. We now have two options to escape from this prison, and for this playthrough, I decided to take the sewers. But before doing that, we pick up the shotgun inside the showers, then head down the steps. Once making it to the confinement room, we enter the ventilation slot to get to the sewers, but little did we know we have fallen into a trap.
Die, Vincent!
Whoever this person is wants us dead, but not to worry, there's only one alligator, this shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so there's two giant alligators that you have to face, and unlike Resident Evil 2, you can't blow its head off with an explosive tank. The alligators have one of the highest health bars than any other BOWs, but you can always bait it to attack you and then quickly back up and fire your weapon. They'll definitely be taking some damage since they're both on each opposite end of this extremely small hallway, but as long as you have a couple of healing items, you should be good. After defeating our giant reptilian friends, we exit the sewer and find ourselves outside of a building with the Umbrella logo.
Umbrella. So this is where the city is controlled from. Oh. What's happening to me?
Upon entering this Umbrella facility, we take this elevator to the top floor and reach the door on the other end of this hallway, but we need a card key to unlock it, so we explore the other rooms.
Hello? Can you hear me? Who are you? What are you doing? Answer me!
Wherever this little girl is, she may be in trouble. But speaking of trouble, we are now confronted by another one of these dudes. But thankfully, we can actually skip this by grabbing the key card from the ground. You can fight it off if you'd like, especially since they always drop ammunition for your shotgun and grenade gun. On our way out, we find Vincent's diary. Wait, this is our diary. This diary basically confirms that the report about the prisoners committing suicide was a lie and admits that Vincent himself killed every one of them for trying to escape. We then learn a bit more details about the plot thanks to the boy from earlier. The diary mentions that the boy, whose name is Lot, lets Vincent know that a spy has infiltrated the island pretending to be him. It also reveals how some people from the city who knew about the cover-up tried to gain evidence to turn against Vincent, but this slimeball has saved his own ass by spreading the T-virus across the city. Wow, we're actually playing as the guy who is responsible for this outbreak. After snooping around what seems like Vincent's office, we head back to that locked door in the hall, get past some more zombies, and walk into our mother?
What?
Vincent? It's me, your mother.
My mother?
Vincent, please, listen to your mother. I want you to leave Umbrella. I want you to stop performing those terrible crimes and just come back home.
Stop it! Let me go!
Shh! Don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you. What is the tape you're listening to?
I don't know. I was only listening to it because I'm so bored. My brother told me to wait here. Oh, let me go!
Your brother?
Leave her alone! Lily, run, go!
Lot!
Put that down. I won't harm you. I promise.
Liar. You'll kill me if I drop it. I'm not stupid. Now stay back! Don't come any closer!
I know you think that I'm a murderer, but you're wrong. I would never do anything like that.
Unsure as to why these kids are afraid of us, we of course follow them, and after exiting the facility, we once again run into them. And they lead us into this house in the middle of nowhere. We learn that this house belongs to the two siblings after reading the boys' diary, and also their parents worked for Umbrella. The siblings were told to believe that the prisoners were patients who were brought in to get help through operation. After the outbreak, the boy's parents were turned into BOWs, and he discovered that Vincent had started the outbreak, which explains why he was so afraid of us. After admiring this nice Street Fighter poster, we decide to snoop some more and find the little girl hiding from us in the closet.
Don't be afraid. I won't hurt you. Where's your brother, Lot?
Please, you have to save my brother. He said he's going to the factory by the ropeway.
Factory?
He told me that he could find a way to escape from this place inside the factory. But there are tons and tons of scary monsters there. I know that if he goes there, he's going to be killed.
What?
Please! We've already lost Mum and Dad. You've got to help my brother. Please!
I promise. Don't cry anymore, Lily. I may have been a bad person, but that was before. That's not who I am now. I will save these 2 kids. I swear it. Lily, you hide here. I'll go find your brother and then come back for you.
So the young boy left to the factory where the prisoners are being operated and potentially a bunch of dangerous BOWs and zombies with only a bat as his weapon. Not gonna lie, this kid is more of a badass than Steve Burnside. So we go on from being a heel to a babyface and head on out to help her brother. We exit their home and head on towards the ropeway station since we need to take the ropeway to get to the factory. We arrive on the other side of the mountains, and after getting further, there are different paths you can take to get to the factory. And for this playthrough, I chose to take the tunnel. The tunnel finally takes us to the path that leads us to an abandoned mansion surrounded by hunters. Once entering this empty, ruined mansion, we hear the boy yell from beneath.
Lot?
We follow the boy's cry for help, and it directs us to the lift that takes us to the secret entrance to the factory, which is surrounded by naked zombies. The power from this floor is off, and in order to restore it, we need an activation disc for the computer. Once locating the disc from the other rooms, we head back to the computer, insert the disc, and restore the power. Now that the power has been restored, we backtrack again to the other side and find an employee ID after opening the shutter, which unlocks the elevator at the end of this hall. We go down to the 3rd floor of the basement, run past a few more IVs to open the entrance to the secret plant, and upon entering the plant, we find a bunch of T-103 tyrants concealed inside glass tubes.
They are creating these monsters on this island.
We are then confronted by another T-103, and after finishing it, we hear Lot yell on the other side.
Lot! Hang on! Lot!
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
What are you talking about? It's not your fault. Vincent is the one who caused everything. Well, I mean,
You? What do you mean? You're the detective. Your name is Ark Thompson.
What? Really? I'm not Vincent? Then why did you run away from me?
Because I'm the one that told Vincent about you.
Hello, I'm Vincent. I've been transferred to this facility to inspect it.
Nice to meet you, sir.
I know Commander Vincent. So I knew that you weren't him when I saw you.
What? A spy? Thank you. You are a good boy, Lot.
So then I'm Ark and not Vincent. Lot, do you know of any way to get off this island?
My dad told me that there's a railway station up ahead from here.
A railway station?
I heard that it runs underground.
Okay, we'll use that. Let's go get Lily. Go ahead! Hurry! We'll meet at the station!
The self-destruction system has been activated. This island will self-destruct in 10 minutes. All the personnel must evacuate immediately.
So turns out we're not Vincent after all, and our true identity is Ark Thompson, the spy who infiltrated the island, who's actually a detective, which explains why Vincent, the man with the white coat, has been after us the entire time. So this place is going to self-destruct and we need to get to the railway station if we want to make it out alive. But suddenly Ark recovers his memory and begins to remember why he's here.
That's right! At the request of my friend Leon S. Kennedy, I came here to investigate. Oh yes! I remember everything!
Tell me the truth. You are a spy, aren't you?
Yes! I'm not Vincent, I'm Ark!
Yep, the same Leon from Resident Evil 2 is the person who sent Ark on this island to investigate and take out Umbrella's headquarters. At this point, our mission is almost done, but our path to the railway station is locked. We activate the shutters from the E area back in the hall and find the master key inside this room, where we find a different looking tyrant hibernating, and it seems like it'll be waking up soon. There's a file on one of the tables that explain how these tyrants are created, and I truly feel bad for the people who were part of this experiment. In order to create these tyrants, we need to inject it with beta-hetero-non-serotonin, which is an element of the human brain that allows us to go through puberty. But the only way to extract this from the human brain is by cutting open the subject's skull without using anesthesia, because by doing so, it'll destroy the cerebral material known as noradrenaline, which is where people are in a state of extreme tension or fear. Damn, that's fucked up. We then head back to use this master key, but suddenly,
Vincent.
If it wasn't for you, I could have completed my mission. Umbrella was going to take care of me. But you had to go and screw it all up. Now, you're going to pay!
No!
so Vincent is finally dead, and we must face off against this new tyrant known as Hypno's Tyrant. This is the easiest tyrant fight in all of Resident Evil games. You can easily kill it by baiting it to attack, then quickly back away and shoot it. Just watch out for its random forward dash and its claw. After defeating this tyrant, we continue our way to the railway station and find the two siblings waiting for us.
Get on the train! Hurry!
They signal us to the train, but the gate to the exit is completely shut. We open the exit gate by using this panel when suddenly we get ambushed by what looks like the Umbrella security service, but turns out they're the cleaners Vincent mentioned earlier, known as BT troopers, who are actually humanoid BOWs sent to destroy any evidence that could trace back to Umbrella. They're extremely easy to kill, but when in large groups it can become a problem for us since they love to spam their guns, so try to avoid them and hop on that train as quick as you can. We're finally near the exit, and as soon as we get off this elevator, we'll be moments away from tasting freedom.
Get in the helicopter! It's still alive!
Oh, that's right, we forgot about the Tyrant from earlier. But this time, he's a little harder to defeat if you're low on ammunition for your stronger guns. You see, there's two phases of this fight. In this phase, the Tyrant is similar to the previous fight, except it's more agile and loves to jump towards you. I suggest backing up whenever the Tyrant launches at you, which gives you enough space to avoid its attack, then start shooting it. You can actually kill it by only using your handguns if you want to save your stronger ammunition for its final transformation, which I honestly suggest you do. In this phase, the Tyrant is more lethal and more faster. Look out for its dashes since it also likes to grab you whenever you're near it, but if you shoot it quickly enough while it's picking you up, you'll be able to free yourself from it. This can actually be an easy fight if you have your magnum, shotgun, and grenade gun, but good luck trying to kill it with your handguns. Once defeating the Tyrant, we hop on the helicopter and finally escape the island, but there's one more problem.
We're safe.
Can't be! Get down!
Tyrant is now officially dead, and we get a nice happy ending of us fading into the sun. A classic Resident Evil ending.
What are we gonna do, mister?
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
I don't know, but don't worry. We can fly as long as we have fuel.
And that, my friends, is Resident Evil Survivor. What did you guys think? I know it isn't a popular game, but it did good enough to produce a sequel, which honestly it surprised me. I've never played the sequel, but I hear it's worse than this. But to be fair, I enjoyed Survivor for its story, its replay value, and Easter eggs. It's also confirmed that Nikolai from Resident Evil 3 escaped from Raccoon City before its destruction. You can read about it in a report written by him that you can find in the theater at the start of the game. Of course, the voice acting wasn't the greatest, and I have to agree that the voice acting is definitely worse than the original Resident Evil 1 for the PlayStation 1.
What I was going to say, aren't you supposed to be going over the first floor, Barry?
Yeah, you're right. But just take a look at this! It's forest! Oh my god!
And to conclude this video, I thought I'd point this out to you all, but if you observe Art Thompson closely enough, you'll notice he looks similar to Ethan Winters in Resident Evil Village. I wonder if that was Capcom's way to sort of honor the character, but Capcom definitely showed some love by mentioning Sheena Island in Resident Evil 0, which is the island that the events of Survivor took place in.
An island that would become the second Raccoon City, Sheena Island.
This makes me wonder if Capcom will ever bring back Art Thompson in the future. But that's going to wrap this review of Resident Evil Survivor. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and don't forget to save your file on this channel by hitting that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.